Welcome to my cruise, trying not to be showy. I got to pay my dues to keep my jalopy. If we get the views, the shots will be flowy. We will try to amuse so it doesn't floppy. You got to see the twos, the Mando and Stormy.
All right, today we're looking at this piece. This is the headrest support piece, which I can't get on from any manufacturer. There's a place from Japan that looks like it's available, but it's quite expensive for shipping and everything else. It's like probably $60 just to replace this piece. So I'm just going to fix this today, see if I can get this fixed. What you can see, it's like a 1/2 inch rod, and it goes into, there's a metal piece you can see in there. It's just attached in, it goes inside of that. But what it's supposed to be, it's supposed to be a little longer than this. It must have broken off, and the other side of it just expands when you push it in there, so it stays in there. As you can see, it's circular thing. There's these two tabs here on the on this one. Let me see, this one here, and this one. These are where my fingers are at that I'm touching. They end there. That's the end of it, and that's where it sits, and that's where it should. That's as deep as it should go into this hole, and that's where it should be touching the other rod. This side, the other side, there's ribs on the other side that continue on, and that keeps it so it keeps it from twisting. And it goes into the rod there because it's a slotted rod on both sides. I can feel it on the side. There's enough of a gap. I'm not sure. I can see it's a certain amount of depth. I'm not have to figure out how deep it is. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is sand this down straight over to here, so it gets to the point of the depth that it hits the rod. So it's going to sit on top of the rod this way. It's not going to go into the rod. And then I'm going to attach a 1/2 inch piece of plastic pipe to it, some arbitrary depth. Then I have to extend the ribs on the side by putting some material to mimic the ribs once I got that all glued together. All right, so that way it could stay in there. Possibly that really doesn't matter. All that's going to do is make it turn some, but it'll be in there. It won't go back and forth, which is for safety wise. That's what it does now. It goes all over the place. It really is not a very functional headrest. So at least it'll be functional. So even if I don't get the ribs in there, the worst case, it'll be turning some. Anyway, that's the plan for the day. Okay, you should be able to see better from this view that I'm at my desk. You can see here's the piece where it hits into the, it's the stop that'll hit it, when it gets inserted. That'll keep it from going any further down. Same thing on the other side. So there's the stop, it ends there. Okay, so you can see it's flush there. Now this one, this side, on this side of it, it continues on, probably another 1/4 inch. It probably ended here, but that's where it broke off. So that when you slide it in, it keeps it from turning. There's one goes here, and this one side should have extended all the way at least down to about here. And the length of this is probably here somewhere. It really doesn't matter, it goes a little further down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to sand this down to this location here on both sides, so it's even on both sides up to here. So then it's going to cut all the way from this side all the way down here. That's going to get cut off here. And this side is not going to get cut off because actually you're going to have a little gap here. I'm going to fill that gap. But at least I'll have a nice clean area for this whole half, the back half will be nice and flush because I can get a square piece of pipe that'll fit right into here. But then on this side here, you can see there'll be a little gap about that much. I'll have to fill with some epoxy so it stays better and it'll hold it together nicely. And that should do it. That'll make it fit pretty nicely. Okay, I did cut this piece of pipe that's the same dimension, about the same length, just to make it equal. So it just doubles the length of the rod. So that's how much it's going to extend into. Fits really nice there. This side will have a little gap. And so now I'm going to glue this together to see how that fits. This is, by the way, I just found different pipes to figure which is the right size. It's about a 1/2 inch inside. The internals you could see is correct. It's 1/2 inch. The outside, because this pipe's about 5/8 inch approximately. Okay, the way it's going to work is this. To make it simple for attaching it, I got rolled up a piece of paper to keep it aligned, and so it should easily fit there nice and actually be aligned properly while it dries. At the end, it will be in the right orientation, and should fit then into the hole perfectly. So anyway, so let's try that out. Here you go, mixing some epoxy with this. All right, let's see. All right, probably the easiest way to do this would be, I could actually take this whole thing off and just rub it into here. So you can see I'm just rubbing it on here. That's pretty much it. So that's, now it's all aligned on here. Pretty good. Just put a little bit of pressure on it. So when it sits here, it's gonna have to sit for 30 minutes in the clamp position. You got like 3 minutes of work time here. I'm not putting it tremendously tight, but at least it's tight, keeps it together. Okay, let's fill some glue in there. Gravity, hopefully let it settle in there nice. There you go. Let that dry for a while. All right, let's see if she fits. Should be nice and tight because of the extra stuff on the outside. There's going in. Pretty good. We tap it to make sure it's all the way in. Yeah, look at that. There you go. Perfect. All back to original.